you agree you can turn your weakness into strength? How many of you agree it is important to recognize your weakness and focus on strength? Thank you. Most of you agree. I will tell you a small story to reinforce these ideas. The young couple were driving back home. They had a young kid in their back seat. The car gets into an accident. The couple get out of the window and the kid got stuck in the back seat. Kid was hurt and got hospitalized. Doctors have to work overnight, and the doctors in the morning, doctors come out and inform parents you have good news and bad news. The kid is going to live and his left arm is amputated. The parents have to accept this. This young kid, one day he was watching a movie, martial art movie called Bruce Lee. It develops an interest for a martial art. And it goes to his dad and asks, I want to learn martial art. The dad says, the kid with the two arms it is difficult. How can you get into a winning position? Then dad takes into a karate school, that is a martial arts school. The teacher was Sensei. Sensei is a Japanese teacher. And he says, I can admit your child, but child should not ask any questions. And the parent and kid agrees, kid joins the school. And the teacher teaches him a warm-up exercise and teaches him one move. And asks the kid to practice the move. The kid practices that move for 1 month, 6 months, 1 year. The kid was practicing the same move. The kid who joined later started practicing different moves. This kid could not hold himself and goes to teacher and asks, Sensei, last 1 year, practicing the same move. Sensei tells the kid, you practice this move, don't ask any questions. Again, kid could not hold himself and goes to the teacher. The other kids are practicing several moves and practicing the same move over 1 year. Sensei says, you never need a second move in your life. He starts practicing the same move. One day, Sensei comes and tells the teacher, tomorrow is the competition, school competition for martial art. He says, what? Don't ask questions. Be there for tomorrow's competition. It was a quarterfinal. The kid makes the same move and the opponent was out of the ring. Opponent was counted out. The kid could not understand what has happened. It was a semi-final. It was a bigger fighter and the kid makes the same move. The opponent was counted out. The kid could not understand what has happened. It was final and the opponent was brutal. And the opponent comes and gives a big punch on his stomach. The ring breaks into three and he gives another punch on the face and the teeth breaks. And the kid flies and falls on the ring. And kid was hurt. He was crying. And the teacher was sitting next to him and he makes an eye contact with the teacher and tears starts rolling. Kid was hurt. And the teacher says, you know what to do. Somehow the kid gets up and makes the same move. The opponent was out and he was declared as a champion. And kid was not knowing what has happened. Kid was not knowing what has happened. With the same move, he has counted out the final. And history was created. He becomes the champion of the school. The one-armed kid becomes the champion of the school. And the parents runs towards the kid and they say, child, we are proud of you. You are hurt. We want to take you to the hospital. Kid says, no, I have a question to ask to my sensei. He will take me to the hospital. When the teacher takes him to the hospital and gets him treated, irritated when he was driving him back the road. The kid asked the teacher, "What has happened?" "They took pity on me. I had only one arm and I became a champion. How the people who had two arms could not make it? I am the kid who having only one arm. I make it to the final. They took pity on me." The scene says it's a martial art. Nobody takes pity on anything. And the kid was still confused. He kept on asking the teacher, "How did it happen?" The scene says in any contact sports, there is a count. For every goal, there is a counter. Every goal, there is a counter. The move what I have taught, for the counter is to grab your left hand, you had none. This what he says, the greatest weakness of a child became his greatest strength. What I am trying to tell you is, sometimes in your life, your greatest weakness can become your greatest strength. I would like to tell one more story. In 2008, the child from the Northeast, 15 years old child from the Northeast, was competing at national level championship. He was a polio affected kid. One leg was paralyzed because of polio. He was representing a state. He was representing a state in a national champion level. And the question was asked to him, how can you are not fighting with the disease. He was fighting with you and like me, having two arms and two legs. The kid told, my one leg is polio affected. Others cannot turn their leg to 180 degree. I can turn my leg to 180 degree and slap the opponent on the face. That was his greatest strength. And you might have read in a newspaper in 2008 that 15 years old boy, polio affected, became a national champion. And one more small story I want to tell you. A Bible publishing company hires a salesperson. Bible company hires a salesperson and puts him on a job in an unproductive area where one could not sell any Bibles. Over a period of time, 1 year, the salesperson achieved a greater target, and the annual convention, this salesperson was called to the dais. When he started speaking, people could wake up, he could not speak properly. He was staggering. The salesperson who achieved the highest target for Bible in unproductive area was stammering. I may look a bit mimical or cynical. I'm not making a fun of stammering person. I'm here making a larger point. When he went to, the people asked him a question, you are stammering, how can you break the record of Bible telling? When he went to door, when he knocked the door, and he used to ask the lady or a man who opens the door, can I read the Bible for myself, or you could purchase this Bible? And people told, don't read the Bible, we will purchase the Bible. So his weakness was turned into a strength. Same thing in my life. I have several weaknesses, I am working on that. 23 years back, I started my career as a graduate engineer training in maintenance department in Baroda, Apollo Tanks. I was concentrating on my technical abilities and I was growing in my hierarchy. I became a senior engineer, assistant manager, deputy manager. Then later, I joined the Total. I went to Germany. You must be knowing in 2003, Total plant was completely burned out. Their peroxide plant was completely burned out. I was one among them who secured that point. Most of the people know me as I am a technical expert. I am a process expert. I can set up any process plant and automotive plant. Most of the people don't know me is when I come like this dais, my hand and leg shivers. It is important to identify your weaknesses and work on that. Sometimes the greatest weakness can turn out to be a greatest strength. Thank you very much.
Great job. Let's hear from them first. What was good? Still